G'day taxpayers, a bit of a Pandora's box of economic news today, and by that I mean a lot of sort of middle tier data, not in itself the stuff that drives the policy deliberations of the RBA or financial markets for that matter, but it all just builds into the narrative of where the economy's going. And I think in summary it's fair to say the numbers were broadly softer, not catastrophically so, but consistent with that moderate growth, weak growth, low inflation still, and just this choppiness that's occurring in the numbers. So in no particular order, job ads minus 1.4% in February, sort of unwinding some of the recent pickup. So the labour market's still moderating, softer in reaction to the weaker economy, I think it's fair to say. The other thing to note is that the Melbourne Institute inflation gauge, my little baby, actually showed prices down 0.2% month on month in February, and the annual increase is just 2.2%, down from 2.3%. So yet another inflation indicator, which is arguably just as good as the ABS series, showing that inflation's at or below the midpoint of the RBA target band. So good news on inflation, and another little tiny tick towards the rate cut occurring on the 1st of April. In other news, house prices up 0.3% in February, a bit of a rebound in some of the weaker states, Melbourne in particular. Again, just this choppiness that's occurring. We've had 3 or 4 months of weakness, now a little bit of a monthly uptick. Nothing to get terribly excited about there. Could be seasonal, I'm just not sure about that. So the February data when we sort of come back and start buying houses again. So, but again, house prices flat is how I describe them rather than rebounding or slumping. So just basically another flat indicator on prices. And things like company profits, after a 5% decline last quarter, they were up 6%. So again, that choppiness, but basically flat is the bottom line of company profits. So into the great big melting pot of economic news, nothing in the way to go against a 1 April interest rate cut from the RBA. And indeed, the one that's probably the most important, or the two that are most important, are the job ads, which were down, inflation rate below the midpoint of the target. So tick, 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 we're getting closer to that rate cut on April 1. Cheers.